Good morning. Distinguished Chairperson and dear colleagues, I am going to speak on recent trends in refractive surgery, that is back to surface. I am sorry for my bad throat. I have no financial interest in the presentation. The corneal refractive surgery evolved with RK, then followed by PRK, then LASIK and intralase and epilasic. PRK was great. It taken off most of the problems of incisional corneal surgery. It was more accurate. It can correct myopia, hypermetropia and astigmatism. It was more stable, but it has its own problem. There was more pain, there was delayed healing, there was scarring. So we moved to LASIK. LASIK was a wow factor. It was a rapid recovery. Patient gratification was very high. There was decreased risk of scarring and practically there was no pain in these patients. But we had a lot of problem with LASIK also. We have got flap striae, we have got buttonholing, there was partial flap, it may be debris, there may be epithelial ingrowth, DLK, and late trauma can cause displacement of the flap. And ectasia is probably the most dreaded complication. Then came the femto. There's the latest buzz. It creates thinner flap. Flap-related complications are practically nil, but it has its own complications. We have to consider these things. We are getting new sets of complications. There is persistent photophobia. Rainbow effect is very common in these patients. Higher incidence of DLK is occurring in these patients compared to microkeratome. Then late trauma again can cause displacement of flap. And ectasia is still a problem with femtolizing also. So now more and more surgeons are moving back to surface. The cycle is full. The surface ablation involves LASIK, where we remove epithelium and blockade with the help of alcohol. It's a sheet that is removed. Then the epilasic, where epithelium is removed and blockade with the mechanical method, that is epikeratome. And advanced surface ablation, it's the modified form of PRK. This is epilasic in progress. All we know it's a mechanical separator which separates the sheet of epithelium, which can be either reused or can be discarded. Now, why advanced surface is required? We have certain advantage of advanced surface ablation over LASIK, especially in the case of irregular astigmatism, in the case of formiferous keratoconus, in the case of thin cornea. If there is night vision concerns, glare may occur because of the larger pupil or because of the flap. If there are interior stomal corneal opacities, it can be removed by surface ablation. That's an added advantage. Then person involved in contact sports, if there are hazardous duties, if the prior incisional surgery has been done, surface ablation gives much better result. In wavefront treatment again, because the flap itself induces some wavefront aberrations, so surface ablation has an edge over LASIK. Then if the patient has gone RD surgery, they are filtering lab, where it's difficult to fit the microkeratome. Then small and deep-seated eyes, surface lesion, LASIK is again superior to these standard LASIK. Now, the preoperative evolution is routine, just like other refractive surgery, is the uncorrected and best-corrected visual acuity, refraction, pachymetry, topography, and aberrometry, just like any other refractive procedure. We put local Paracane eye drops, 1 to 2 drops. After the gap of 2 minutes, eye speculum is placed. Then comes the first step, that is epithelium removal. There are different techniques to remove the epithelium. The manual removal is where we put local anesthetic, just soften the epithelium and remove by mechanical method. Then there is a brush technique, then laser scrape, and then alcohol assisted. We'll go one by one to each of these conditions. In laser scrape, we have transepithelial PRK, where epithelial is removed in PTK mode followed by PRK. The basic problem with this technique is we do not know how much thick is the epithelium. We just remove by it a standard method, either 50 micron or 45 micron or 60 micron. But we are not very sure where the epithelium ends and movement starts. So most of the time we may get overcorrection. Second step is laser scrape. Epithelium is removed partially. Then just to compensate the remaining epithelium, we add 0.5 to 1 diopter in our correction. And the latest one is more popular, is epithelium is removed in dim light and stopped as soon as the color of laser changes. The color changes mostly on the periphery. As we see the color is changing, we stop and the central part of the epithelium is removed by spears. This technique is gaining very popularity. The obvious advantages are it's a no-touch all laser technique. There's no alcohol, no mechanical separation or suction is used. It's less painful. Early recovery as the adjoining epithelium is healthy. This is a Amoils or Palikare brush. This brush is just like dental toothbrush which we have used earlier. This is battery operated. Only thing, this bristle are little stiff. Even some person are using those dental rotary brush also. Now it's a very popular technique now. We use ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol is placed in a well and we keep it there for 30 seconds. This loosens the epithelium. Now this epithelium is removed by a hockey stick. Then the laser is applied and the desired correction is done by using appropriate laser. Now comes the role of mitomycin. So if most of the surgeons use mitomycin, if it's more than 50 microns, mitomycin is 0.02%. It's applied for 12 seconds. Then this is thoroughly washed with chilled balanced salt solution. A bandage contact lens is applied. Antibiotic and lubricating drops are placed over the contact lens. In the follow-up, we use antibiotic, NSAIDs, steroid also. But surface ablation is look very simple and easy to do, and looks there wouldn't be any complication. But it has its own complication. We have to take care of all these. There may be stomal scoring, there may be irregular astigmatism, there may be persistent corneal defect, there may be recurrent epithelial erosion, which may cause significant discomfort and pain. There may be epitheliopathy in these patients. So how we can improve the results in advanced surface ablation? We have to have certain tips regarding these things, which I am going to share with you. In preoperative period, we have to have very careful checkup of these patients. If there is blepharitis, good lid hygiene, scrubs, and antibiotics should be used. For pneumonitis, we have to use hot water compression. For dry eye, we have to take adequate care with artificial tears, cyclosporin drops, ointment or puncture plugs. We have to take care that dry eye is very common in middle-aged patients, though it's not be clinically present at the time. Tablet prednisolone 80 milligram should be given 30 minutes before the procedure. It reduces the pain and improves the condition. In operative period, we have one modulator, that is mitomycin C. It prevents the haze and we are able to correct even the higher number of correction. Proper fitting contact lens is very important. If the contact lens is not proper fitting, it may cause a lot of problem. If you see there is a lot of lipid or protein deposit, just change the contact lens. Now we are getting better contact lenses and even vision shields are there, which has caused epithelial regeneration to be very predictable level. NSAIDs are very important. Nefapenic should not be placed directly before putting contact lens. We should limit our NSAIDs 4 to 5 days. In post-operative period, I don't recommend using anesthetic as many of the surgeons are using weak anesthetic. It's a wrong practice. Patient can keep on using it and may land up in problem. Oral steroid has helped a lot. Prednisolone 80 milligram is used. It is tapered in 6 days rapidly. Oral pain killers, we have to use stronger painkillers. Just we are using in anti-seizures medication like gabapentin and pregabalin. Avoid aminoglycosides. These are epitheliotoxic. We have to improve the epithelial regeneration. In persistent corneal epithelial defect, we have to use doxycycline twice a day. We have to avoid UV exposure. We have to use UV blocker and ask these patients not to go in sunlight in early days. Nutrient supplement like omega-3 fatty acid and vitamin C should be supplemented. To conclude, surface ablation is one of the most effective tools in surgical armamentarium or refractive surgeon. It is still underutilized, but is very promising and exciting with superior results. Thank you. Thank you very much.